BBC News at midday. Campaigners have criticised water companies after they acknowledged customers could face higher bills to fund improvements to England's sewage system. The industry body Water UK has apologised after sewage was dumped into rivers and the sea an average of 825 times a day last year. It said the industry was ready to invest £10 billion to upgrade the network. Greenpeace said the prospect of extra charges was a very strange way of being sorry. Izzy Ross from Surfers Against Sewage said the industry needed to grasp the seriousness of the issue.
Sewage discharges aren't always visible. You can't always smell them. You might not know when you're actually swimming about in raw sewage. And that's the real danger. We saw last year over 700 people submit sickness reports to us. 55% of those sickness cases were from excellent-rated beaches across the UK.
The chair of Water UK, Ruth Kelly, said change was coming.
We are very sorry for the spills of untreated sewage that have gone into rivers and onto our beaches, that have spoiled the enjoyment that people can get from their rivers and beaches. We've heard the strength of feeling. Personally, I've been very chastened by listening to some of that feedback from the public. We get it, and we want to put this right.
The telecoms company BT says it will cut up to 55,000 jobs by the end of the decade. That's about 40% of its workforce. Some of the roles will be replaced by artificial intelligence, as our business correspondent Theo Leggett reports.
BT has spent the past few years building a new high-speed broadband network based on fibre optic cables. This has been a labour-intensive process, but once it's complete, the company will not need as many staff to run it. By the same token, its old networks will eventually be shut down, and the staff maintaining them will not be needed anymore. But perhaps most controversially, BT believes chatbots using artificial intelligence and other technologies will be able to take over many customer services, although the company insists it will continue to use call centres staffed by humans.
A man has admitted abducting a schoolgirl while he was dressed as a woman and sexually assaulting her at his home in the Scottish borders. Andrew Miller, who's 53, told police who arrested him that he was transitioning to become a woman. Lorna Gordon reports from the High Court in Edinburgh.
The court heard the schoolgirl had been walking home when she was approached by what she described as a lady in a car who said her name was Amy George. The child said the person didn't appear to be threatening, so she accepted a lift. Andrew Miller, also known as Amy George, took the child to his house, where over the course of 27 hours he sexually assaulted her. The child called 999 after escaping from the bedroom when Miller fell asleep. In comments made to police shortly after he was arrested, Miller said he didn't abduct the child, that it was all a mistake. He said that it was a motherly thing and he was trying to be nice.
Police in New Zealand have arrested a man and charged him with arson after a fire at a hostel in Wellington on Tuesday that killed 6 people. He's due in court tomorrow. A Chinese comedian who told a joke that mocked President Xi has been arrested. The production company has already been fined the equivalent of £1.7 million. Stephen McDonnell reports from Beijing.
Li Haoshi was taken away by police this morning, and the Chinese comedian potentially faces a prison sentence. Last weekend he told a joke live on stage about 2 dogs chasing a squirrel, using an expression about them being able to fight and win battles. It's a phrase which China's leader Xi Jinping has used to praise the military. The company which booked him has been given a fine so large that there's been speculation that stand-up comedy could be virtually wiped out here, following fears of similar punishment in the future.
2 energy companies which overcharged customers are to pay £4 million in compensation. A total of 18,000 households will receive refunds from OVO and Good Energy. BBC News.